These stupid Transformers moments are more than meets the eye! Actually, they're not. They're kind of exactly what meets the eye.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers.
Alright, my top 10 funniest, dumbest Transformers moments. Let's do this! Can you imagine if they did an episode where you met the creator of Unicron? I bet that'd be pretty impressive. Oh yeah, they did. And it was... This stupid looking Snorks Ewok monkey fuck love child reject. This is the fucking asshole who created Unicron! Do you like that?
You are creator?
Unfortunately, yes.
Nice of them to just have him spout out the audience's feelings on the matter.
Grimlock laugh at little wimp who make big trouble. Grimlock order Primacron to make everything like it was before.
I've tried everything!
Me Grimlock solve problem.
Of course, the reverse switch!
And the audience laughs themselves to tears. This episode could have been pretty interesting as well, as it started with some force calling all the primitive Transformers, Autobot and Decepticon alike, and them being told the creator of Unicron had created another terror, which was a pure energy being that was absorbing the life force out of worlds completely. But then we find out the stupid little monkey shitter looks like he should be singing "Why Can't We Be Friends with a Group of Children" was the fucker who did it! It's like someone dared them to come up with a more disappointing creation story than when they told us that those five-faced doofuses that just kept dumping people into water from the movie had actually created the Transformers. And they said, BAM! Here you go! This ass face made Unicron! Try taking him seriously again after looking at this stupid wiener's face crying about Grimlock ruining his shit!
I have extreme father issues.
I've never seen anything this beautiful in the entire galaxy. All right, give me the bomb.
When Rodimus and friends come across a planet inhabited by a group of pacifist Autobots, they bring their war with the Decepticons to them and ruin everything.
Any questions? No? Good.
If that wasn't good enough, they top off their destruction of these Autobot society by completely destroying their world. This is almost as far as you can get to really devastate some people, save for just flat out slaughtering them. But that's when leader Rodimus Prime really shines and tries to soften the blow.
It's as beautiful in death as it was in life.
Well, no need to get all mushy. Cybertron's a better place anyway. Not so perfect.
Empathy? Who needs it? Oh well, it's not like Rodimus actually knows these stupid Autobots. He's more caring about his real friends.
Gross.
Krim Zeke, aka the episode where Megatron creates a really annoying electric creature, and it's the worst Pokemon ever.
Krim Zeke! Krim Zeke! Krim Zeke! Krim Zeke! Krim Zeke!
Megatron just makes this Krim Zeke creature at the beginning of this episode with no explanation. Was this what he was trying to do? If so, nice one, Megadom. You're just told nothing about why this thing was just created, but it immediately starts fucking up the Decepticons' Atari computers.
Systems malfunctioning.
Yes, Krim Zeke, you will be my ultimate weapon against the Autobots.
Really, Megatron? Really? He doesn't know what Krim Zeke is at all, but yeah, that's the best plan ever, so he just drops it off. This is juvenile, even for G1. So, if you ever wanted to see the Autobots trying to take care of some stupid electric child that just flies around messing everything up and saying its name over and over, man, is this the episode for you?
Oh no! He jumped into the screen and it was like he just went there!
Well, when you put it that way, it just sounds stupid as fuck. Electricity is magic, right? We have no idea how it works. Glad this arcade game was programmed with the possibility of electronic Pokemon invasions.
Talk about a bull in a
shit. Then, even though Blaster was coated with anti-Krim Zeke spray from their earlier failed plan of standing around watching Krim Zeke bounce off them, it somehow goes into him and multiplies itself somehow in other colors, because why the fuck not? Watching the Autobots get wrecked by this piece of shit is really just kinda sad. But what the episode actually tries to play as being sad at us is when they blow the stupid fucker up!
He's gone, isn't he?
It's not sad, Bumblebee! But, oh, yay! Another one pops out a blaster at the end, messing up electronics around the city, likely leading to a bunch of deaths. What a happy ending! Daniel and Wheelie fuck around trying to find out Ultra Magnus's birthday. A pitch that should have immediately been thrown into the shredder. Daniel and Wheelie is one of the worst combos you could possibly come up with in Transformers. Well, maybe if Gears was still around, they could have thrown him in just to see if they could have immediately made every viewer watching the episode hate their existence. So, Daniel and Wheelie decide they need to find out Ultra Magnus's birthday, which of course is something not celebrated by Transformers. But hey, Ultra Magnus's birthday isn't about him, it's about stupid little asshole Daniel. This is apparently something so important that the two geniuses at work steal a ship to try and find the info cause, you know, it's not on Cybertron. The really important information like birthdays has got to be kept super secret. Anyway, they ruin said ship because of course they do, and Daniel breathes on an asteroid. I see nothing wrong with that. Moving on. But yes, there is an Autobot info asteroid. Why? Why would you keep some of your information on an unmanned asteroid out in the middle of nowhere? I just don't get you sometimes, Autobots. While this place doesn't have any actual people on it, they do have automated file robots, which try to kill them. I'd say that's another flaw in the system, but considering it's trying to kill Daniel and Wheelie, luckily for them, the Decepticons saved them from the file robots. Yes, really. And this also means they have led the enemy to this stupid secret Autobot info center, and this drags Ultra Magnus into a life and death struggle that he wouldn't have had to dealt with right now if these two hadn't pulled this shit. Happy birthday! But it's not a real birthday bash without an explosion, so after luring the Decepticons to the horrible idea info asteroid, they've got to destroy it now, so Wheelie hits the auto destrut button. And really, what good library doesn't have a quick explosion option? Now they've lost a bunch of info thanks to Daniel and Wheelie. Luckily, they didn't make you suffer through too many adventures of these little shitters teaming up. Until the Japanese Headmasters series, where they made that something you had to see every damn episode! The Combiner Bruticus gets blown to shit with one shot by Defensor, who immediately doesn't care about anything and just leaves. Swindle has to get parts to fix his other Combaticon buddies, but instead sells the parts of his friends, and Soundwave puts a bomb in his head to make him get all the parts back. Are you lost yet? Anyway, we then get a group of stupid kids dumped onto us because that always made for the best episodes of cartoons, right?
We're supposed to work together.
I think you should work together.
What? These stupid dints find one of the Combaticon's personality components in the junkyard. You'd think Swindle could have sold his buddies super advanced alien robotic parts for more if they'd gone for scientific ventures rather than junk metal. But yeah, they just go ahead and build a fucking robot for the science fair, which is stronger than the regular Transformers. Now, normally, I wouldn't say breaking through a wall makes it stronger than the regular Transformers, as that should be a pretty simple task for them. But not in the episode Bot! After calling the Autobots on the giant computer every school had back in the day, the Autobots can easily walk around in the apparently also giant school. But this is where the Autobots meet their toughest obstacle, a wooden door.
He locked the door!
I don't get it!
No one does, Gears! The only thing that could make this better is if the wooden door fell on and crushed Gears. Also, to add to the stupid, the Autobots have trouble stopping this student-made robot, which should primarily be made of super weak materials compared to them, but hey, wood is tough shit for the Autobots to get by now! Blitzwing, Astrotrain, and Starscream decide to put Megatron on ice and take over the Decepticons, and this might have actually worked out pretty well. Except they also betray Starscream, the only one of these three that has a clue in their head. Blitzwing immediately decides to make a football stadium his headquarters, and when he crashes into the stadium, the football coach, of course, gets his team to pass the ball to the tank.
Coach, it's a tank! What do I do?
Give him the ball!
Not quite sure that's how football works. Blitzwing then spends most of his supposed time as a leader of the Decepticons shitting around this stadium and shooting the scoreboard whenever he thinks one of his pathetic little acts is a victory. Also, I'm fairly certain that should just blow the scoreboard up. Blitzwing then shows the mark of a true leader as he takes plays from the football coach's battle strategy.
Give me some military advice.
I only know football plays.
Tell me what's on your mind.
Zone defense!
Zone defense.
This is probably why neither side wanted you, Blitzwing. Blitzwing had actually defected to the Autobots at the beginning of Season 3, but then would be seen later back with the Decepticons. Both sides probably just kept throwing him back off their side once he would suggest getting a football coach to lead them to victory. Trax is somehow pathetic enough to actually get smashed by stupid Blitzwing during this episode, so yeah, he really gears this one up. The other triple changer genius, Astrotrain, wants a train station to be his HQ, and his greatest victory as part leader of the Decepticons is taking over some trains to conquer train tracks. He also wastes time giving them simple intelligence, much like his own. Astrotrain tells the Seekers at one point he's the leader, and they don't believe him. Just strange. I wonder why.
Rev up! Rev up! Collect the energon cubes! Show them what you're made of! Water main!
Spike gets a load of debris on him, but he just needs some AC from Prime, and he's okay. Jeez, if only Prime had let stupid Daniel use his magic AC, RC wouldn't have had to have him stuck in her head.
We built your maze. Now you keep your part of the bargain.
Why don't you go build a bridge and jump off it?
Constructicons, transform into Devastator!
Blitzwing, just... wow! Idiot! Still, yeah, the most pathetic takeover of the Decepticons ever ends with as much dignity as it deserves.
Get this straight. I am Decepticon leader.
Some stupid, eccentric, rich safari hunter guy wants to catch Autobots, the most dangerous prey. Of course, a human trying to capture giant alien robots who have superior technology should end with them dying in 2 seconds, but this is a really stupid episode, of course. He actually starts managing to catch Autobots with the most ridiculous traps. Just... no! It's all thanks to magic lock and stuff like him somehow building ridiculous robotic arms in areas he'd never be able to that any of this works. Bumblebee just kind of captures himself, though, as he just drives into a truck. And yeah, that's him captured, apparently. Guess he forgot he was a fucking Transformer. However, most ridiculous of all is Blaster's capture.
Hey!
What the hell am I watching? How did this even remotely make sense to anyone? What is even going on here? Apparently it really is magic making this catch the Transformers shit work for fuckface. He also stages a fire with a fake kid and a fire hose wraps up Inferno. Just, you know, on the off chance that he actually went to this fire. Then if the way he caught them didn't test your patience enough with the show, he comes up with the most ridiculous contraptions ever to hold them. Fuck this episode! Also, Bumblebee's is yet another easily escapable predicament.
You better hope I find them before I find you.
Beautiful creature, isn't he, Prime? The object of years of patient stalking through the uncharted interior of Borneo.
Absolutely. Let's just dump that into the steaming pile of robotic shit that this asswipe found a dragon. They apparently thought suspension of disbelief kind of worked like So Bad They're Good movies. So unbelievable, this episode's believable.
Not today, Chumley.
Why didn't Optimus Prime save her? Unless... Stop your crying! Blitzwing, no! It's... Astrotrain, help!
Impenetrable! Blitzwing, how do you get into these messes?
Apparently, someone was worried that Blitzwing and Astrotrain might still have a sliver of dignity left, so they're in this one too!
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
Also, in the giant factory in the middle of nowhere, he's got some stupid mechanical scorpion and spiders and fuck! What I'm saying is, this is pretty silly.
Impossible!
That makes about as much sense as anything at this point. Prime was apparently pretty done with this episode by the end as well, and seriously just leaves the Hunter to be executed by the Soviets.
Global tensions declined sharply today when sources revealed that the lost Soviet jet was stolen by a big game hunter.
This This episode starts off with Soundwave, Megatron, and Starscream just kicking back and checking out some highly explosive crystals.
Colonium crystals, the most rare and dangerous form of raw energy in this solar system. Do not permit the Auto Scout to make contact. Those crystals are deadly.
This is taking place on Earth, by the way. The writers of this episode also apparently really liked Laserbeak. Like, a lot. Laserbeak not only captures Starscream and brings him back to Megatron this episode, but also manages to KO Optimus Prime.
Hold your fire! I want holographic views of Optimus Prime from every angle, but do not harm him.
Sometimes you have really warped ideas for how to try and win your war, Megatron. But I'm sure once Megatron releases Prime Gone Wild, the Autobots will just quit immediately. Oh, but I kid. Megatron just very easily makes a perfect clone of Optimus Prime by getting these holo pics of him. It's mind-boggling that he's able just to build something like that this easily. Also, you'd think this would take a lot of energy, and energy was kind of something the Decepticons were constantly battling the Autobots to try and get at this point in the series. Though if Megatron can make a perfect copy this easily, he could just make an army of remote-controlled beings. But of course, he'll never use this again. And yeah, now Megatron's deep into his game of Virtua Prime, complete with perfect on-the-fly voice changer software.
Bumblebee, come over here. The computer's not responding to my input. Bumblebee, I'm speaking to you.
You talking to me?
Of course.
But I'm not Bumblebee, I'm Ironhide, Prime.
I meant Ironhide, naturally.
I'm fairly certain Megatron has got to know the difference between Bumblebee and Ironhide, so he's probably just put his whole silly scheme at risk here just to be a dick. Real Prime comes back immediately during this because they didn't capture him, so Megatron's plan was for them to just trust the Prime that doesn't know them and is acting suspicious.
Now, Autobots, destroy the imposter!
And somehow they don't immediately point him out as the fake.
Every Autobot knows I am the genuine Optimus Prime.
Well, the real Prime does always say he's the real Prime, so I don't know how we could figure this out.
Instead of just asking both Primes questions, since one of them clearly doesn't know who they are, they instead get them to do stupid tests like shooting rocks. However, it's all been leading to the ultimate way to tell which one the real Optimus Prime is.
Okay, we'll settle this with a race.
You guys deserved the terror that was coming to you, Rodimus Prime. Look at them go. I really feel like this is proving who the real Prime is. How can you guys shrug this off? This was a race! The only foolproof way to expose an imposter! These robots in disguise are lucky that being in disguise isn't a big part of this series. Now, like I said, this cloning shit should have taken a lot of energy, and they could have saved this ridiculous plot a little by saying that they could only really afford to pull this off once, but they also make a clone of Starscream just for the fake Prime to destroy! Because after a race fails, an obviously staged battle's the only true test of Primehood. Especially when Starscream chose which Prime to blow him up. If you can't trust Starscream, who can you trust? Also, how is Megatron controlling his fake Prime while he's talking and doing other stuff?
I have written a brilliant scenario of Autobot destruction.
I have written a brilliant scenario of Autobot destruction. Oops. Which one's the real one? Thanks for having my back, Bumblebee.
But what about Spike?
He's unimportant.
Upon hearing that one, the Autobots immediately go into kill mode, but oh no, I think they should have had another race just to be sure.
Is it really you, Optimus Prime?
You're unimportant.
on Space Egypt, they're having slaves build pyramids? Or Mayan temples or something like that. Ouch! Shouldn't that have hurt? Seems these stupid robots are easily defeated. Guess I should have just tried punching them before having to build all that. This ragtag operation is run by the Decepticons, because of course it is. Having these Egyptian-style buildings built on this planet will help Megatron. Somehow!
I can take Bumblebee, Perceptor, and Sea Spray, but Optimus, you're just too big.
Don't worry, Cosmos. You guys are on your own this time.
I don't really want to be in this stupid episode.
If Prime really wanted to go, he could take Omega Supreme. But nah, Omega Supreme's probably too worried about Robo-Smashers or something. But on to the main plot, Sea Spray gets a crush on a slave girl. Did he learn nothing from Power Glide's failures? These idiots turn into mermaids via a special pool of water. If you want an explanation, too bad! We don't have time for that when we've got to cram in Sea Spray wanting to fuck a fish girl. Their shoes even return once they get their legs back. You gotta love transformations that don't ruin clothing. Sea Spray is so horny for this fish girl, he jumps into the mermaid pool, which destroys other robots, but not Sea Spray. It makes him human. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Ouch!
Sorry. Guess I'm still part robot.
Oh, well that only makes sense with how that shoe thing works. Wait, did I just say makes sense in relation to this episode? Then of course, Sea Spray doubles down on his transformation nonsense and gets turned into a mermaid. No robotic feet on that one. But yes, there is seriously an episode of Transformers where a Transformer transforms into a mermaid! Merman. Merman!
Rumble, those two appear to be leaders.
They appear to be leaders of what? They are swimming over there. Guess it doesn't take much for leadership on the planet of the Magic Mermaid Pool. And if you thought Sea Spray's mer transformation wasn't silly enough, well, they threw in this one.
Now I've got you dead to rip. Hey! What's going on? You must think of a tree. It's your only chance. Otherwise, you'll never escape total oblivion. Okay, phew, that was close. Hey, wait a minute.
Rumble gets turned into a tree? Sea Spray's fish woman then turns herself into an Autobot. Apparently you can just turn yourself into whatever in the Magic Mermaid Pool. This begs the question though, why they didn't turn themselves into these beforehand to fight the Decepticons. But most importantly, why doesn't she have stupid human feet on her robot form?
So you don't care for being a robot?
I am what I am, but that doesn't mean I don't love you.
But it probably should. The Decepticons cosplay as the Autobots to ruin their public relations. This was a two-parter. Megatron convinces a stupid politician that the Decepticons are actually the good guys, and it's just been bad PR that's made the Autobots look like they are. Considering the Decepticons have been fairly blatant up to this point with their attacks on human factories, this really shouldn't work at this point. But it does! So yeah, the Decepticons stage a battle against some of the other Decepticons cosplaying as the Autobots, again with perfect voice changers.
Another raid to blame on the Decepticons.
But at least this nonsense lets us hear Megatron say stuff like,
"Save the humans!"
Now things get extra messy with this very quickly when Fake Wheeljack shoots a camera off a helicopter.
Don't come back!
Even though the Decepticons' whole plan was to record this and give the Autobots bad press, so Why would he do that? And of course, all it takes is a few home movies by the Decepticons for humanity to completely turn on the Autobots during Autobot Day, no less. The politician on the Decepticon side, Burger, somehow comes in with his own tanks and army. How is this legal?
I knew there was something fishy. The Autobots never transformed.
Good thing we haven't already seen Megatron make fake Autobots that could, or else that would seem like a really silly oversight.
Even their transforms are the same.
This mask would fool Prime's own creator!
Oh, it was Starscream cosplaying as Prime. Well, that's okay, as long as Starscream also wasn't one of the Decepticons that fought off the phony Autobots. Oh, of course he was. You gotta love, too, that Starscream's shoulders just have to magically pop out, since he wouldn't actually fit properly in a Prime suit. Yeah, sure is too bad Megatron forgot about his perfect remote control duplicates. Why did they film this part? And if it's at the TV station, it means humans had access to it. The humans then decide to kick the Autobots off the planet because they believe they're bad now. Of course, if they actually think that, why do they think the Autobots will just say, yeah, okay, let's go? Boy, the Decepticons sure are gonna be in for it when humanity kindly asks them to leave once the jig is up. Though the Decepticons might actually do it in this episode. Humanity then immediately throws Decepticon Day! Bunch of disloyal asshats! They deserve what they get! But who would have ever seen deception coming from the Decepticons? Spike hasn't even had time to leave the room he was in at the end of part 1, and they have immediately rolled out the Decepticon parade and blimp! Why were all those things already produced? Guess humanity was just hedging their bets. Then all it takes is the Autobots saying it was a bad idea to actually leave Prime for Prime to go, oh yeah.
I did what was necessary.
There's still time to change our mind.
Perhaps I did make the wrong decision.
They throw a sock hop for the Decepticons?
Laserbeak want a cracker?
Megatron coloring book? A Megatron coloring book? Humanity, you suck.
Mr. Megatron, what are your plans here on Earth?
I'm glad you asked, Earth Germ.
What?
My plan is to conquer this mudball of a planet.
Huh, of course Megatron waited for the parade and sock hop to be over before he revealed the obvious.
How could we have been so stupid?
Good question! And really, that's a question that could have been asked after any of these moments. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's Decepticon Day, and I always celebrate a day for murderers as long as they get good PR afterwards.
My nerves, they're gonna break. Please don't let me down. You need to be around to grab that running one up and blast that scene a new one.
Where the hell was Carnage in C minor on this list?